The United Nations has welcomed a decision by Israel to remove metal detectors from the entrances to the Aqsa compound, also known as Temple Mount in occupied East Jerusalem. The decision was taken by Israel's cabinet late Monday to replace the metal detectors with increased and advanced surveillance cameras that have so far been rejected by Palestinian and other Muslim worshippers. The UN Security Council is meeting Tuesday in open sessions for its quarterly open debate on the Middle East that has included accusations and counter-accusations between the envoys of both Palestine and Israel.
As concerns mounted over continued escalation after tightened security measures in response to the killing of 2 policemen on July 14th at the holy site, a decision to pull back now welcomed.
I welcome last night's decision by the Israeli Security Cabinet to remove the metal detectors while ensuring the security of visitors and worshippers to the holy sites. I hope that the Cabinet decision will lead to calming of the current tension and will enable a return of worshippers to the Holy Esplanade. It is expected that President Abbas will convene the Palestinian leadership later tonight to discuss these developments.
Mladenov urged continued engagement between the parties and for them to refrain from making provocative statements. He reminded the Council that Jerusalem remained a final status issue that needed to be decided and negotiated between the two sides. He told Israel that an increase in its settlement activity was illegal under international law, undermining the prospects of a two-state solution, while he called on the Palestinian leaders, which include those of Hamas, Fatah and the Palestinian Authority, to set their ideological differences aside that now threatens the complete collapse of Gaza. Israel, for its part, accused the Palestinian leadership of continuing to fund terrorists.
In 2016, the Palestinian Authority spent over $300 million. Yes, you heard him right. $300 million on salaries paid to terrorists and their families, on mass killers with innocent blood on their hands. The PA under Abbas dedicates nearly 7% of its budget to funding terrorists and their families. How much of their budget do they spend on higher education? As low as 1%.
Palestine called on the Council to uphold and fully implement all of its resolutions.
Explicit calls must be made for an end to Israeli incitement and inflammatory rhetoric, including by government officials regarding the city and the holy sites, such as remarks by Israel's public security minister, who brazenly declared, and I quote, "Israel holds sovereignty over the mount, no matter what other countries' positions are, and if we decide that a certain move has a certain advantage, then it is carried out." End of quotation.
The UN also warning the Council for the need to restore a political perspective, failing which this national conflict could spiral into a religious one. Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.